How's it going, y'all? I thought about doing a video where I did a skull identification for a fox, but I kind of figured, you know what? Why not talk about true foxes versus gray foxes, or Vulpes versus Eurocyan or Eurocyan? I'm not sure. I've heard it pronounced multiple ways. It's the hard part about Latin. But anyway, I figured I'd talk about both of them. So, as you can see in this picture, the U-shaped temporal lines is the gray fox or Eurocyan. V-shaped is your true foxes or your Vulpes. And if you don't know the difference between these two, I'm going to tell you what they are. Let's get in. First ones we're going to start with is the subfamily of canine of Vulpes. These are your true foxes. They have smaller heads, like flatter skulls, bushier tails. They prefer to live in like meadows and like farmland, like other flatlands kind of thing. Um, they also tend to have markings or marking that will run or is within the perimeter of their eye to their nose. So you can see in like all these pictures how they have some sort of marking that runs from their eye to their nose or is like dotted. I'm gonna name all these ones here. I'm gonna go left to right and down. So starting off with this top corner, we have the red fox, the Rupel fox, the Corsac fox, the Bengal fox. That's what that one is. Arctic fox. I'm gonna move myself out of the way here. Then we have the Blainsford fox, the Cape fox, and the Finnick fox. These ones are your true foxes because they have that flatter skull, and you can actually see it on their head, like how it's a little flatter. And that is what separates them from their other group, which are the not true foxes, or the Eurocyans or Eurocryans, or because I've heard it multiple ways. These ones are known as the gray foxes, or there's actually only two species in this one. You have the gray fox and the island fox. They prefer the woodlands. Like both of these families are found everywhere, basically, um, all throughout Europe, Asia, and the United States and Canada. They are only above the equator. I think could probably be found other places too, but that's where they're mostly found, is above the equator. But they live in like the woodlands, where the other true foxes live in like the meadows and marshlands, not marshlands, meadows and farmlands. These guys more relate to other canine species, and I could go into further detail of why they are different. But it's a lot of it has to do with that they are very primitive, like their ancestors before them, versus the true foxes, which have evolved over time. That's the key differences without having to go too into detail about it. But if you didn't know that, now you do. Have a good one. Something, just a little add on here at the end. So I did forget to mention, they also can have shades of red for camouflaging purposes. That is why they both do have red, but that's really the closest identifier to the two like similarities between them, is that they can have red on them. They also do have some form of black mark between the eyes and the nose, but it's very distinctively different than other foxes. If you can like get a close observation of the two. There you go. If you didn't know that, now you do. Have a go. Just another small little cut in here. I scratched the surface of the differences. I can't go into great detail without doing more research of my own, because I only can tell you the information that I know, and I try to make my videos off of my knowledge and what I've learned versus what Wikipedia or Google or anything like that tells me. And I will use those to fact check myself just to make sure, but I don't try to go past what I understand, because I don't want to set that precedent. So if you want more information on this, I recommend reaching out or looking into zoologists or doing your own studies. If I can break down the families or the subfamilies and stuff more, like Vulpes and Eucryan and stuff like that, I can break those down further, like separately. But at the end of the day, I am a studying ecologist. I'm working towards my bachelor's right now. I am not a zoologist at all, so I cannot give you further in detailed things. And I just wanted to make sure that was well aware. Have a go.